Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here on this Tuesday morning. I'm wearing long sleeves because it's so cold outside. We've had a little cool snap come through, and it is really, when I say cool, it's below 70 for the first time. I'm looking back at my notes since back in June, and it's a great feeling outside. It won't stay for long, though. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at 767-5500. Give them a call. School is starting right around the corner, and get like their slogan says, a year's effort is worth a lifetime of rewards at Haney Technical Center. Principal Mike Heppenstall. 67 here in Panama City, 67 also in Mariana, 68 in Apalachicola, and 69 over in Sandestin. High today, 93. Now it's going to warm up, but the big thing, the humidity will not be here. It's going to be a little bit drier today because we really did have a cool front to come through, and it's going to be very temporary, but we won't have that humidity. We had air coming in and out of the north. Low tonight, 76. Water temperature, 86, and marine forecast will be coming out of the north like it did last night at 5 to 10 knots, seas 1 to 2, and our bays will just have a little light chop on them. The Carl Vernon Marine Specialties tide chart. Take a look at it, and we're looking at today is the 16th of August. If you look on the chart there, it has a lot of it has two high. We have two high tides and two low tides, but it's pretty flat today, tomorrow, and Thursday is going to start picking up. This is what we call our flat tides, a little neap tide, not much flow coming in and out of the bay. So it's really a good time to go diving or something at the jetty. So keep that in mind, okay? That's our short weather. We don't do the river readings on Tuesday and Thursday, but they're flat. They're 0.9 here on Apalachicola and 0.8 on the Choctawhatchee. All right, let's take our first break, and we'll be right back.
Your vision is precious. If an emergency arises, you don't want to be sitting in a hospital waiting room. Accidents and injuries can happen outside of your workday. That's why our team of physicians provide emergency eye care to our patients anytime, day or night. You can count on your local experts in eye care to be there for you whenever you need us. The Eye Center of North Florida.
9 doctors, 1 vision, yours.
Flag with Professional Fiberglass Marine Service. We offer all types of boat repair, fiberglass work, bottom painting, detailing, buffing. If your gel coat's looking dull, we can get that boat looking good for you again. We also offer a pickup and delivery service, and we have trailers that you can use if we are going to work on your boat, and we can come and get your boat for you. We can be reached at 850-960-9054, or you can reach us on the web at profiberglassmarine.com.
When you're looking for sales, parts, and service for your outboard, all in one location, you're looking for BJ's Marine. You're authorized Tohatsu and Nissan dealer. BJ's Marine does it all. They have outboard parts and a service center and used motor sales too. Tohatsu, reliable, dependable, fuel efficient, and lightweight. Tohatsu Outboards, technology for the next generation. BJ's Marine, 1317 Transmitter Road since 1991. $10,000 prize money in the 15th Annual Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association's Kingfish Tournament, August 27th. Fish from Panama City, Mexico Beach, wherever. Weigh in at the Mexico Beach Marina. $150 per boat. Captain's party Friday night. Proceeds to build more artificial reefs. Register early at the Mexico Beach Marina or Half Hitch and Blue Water Outriggers. Complete details at mbara.org.
Now, welcome back. Well, I've got a lot of stuff to go over, so let's get started. I know on Friday morning, my loyal viewers, I had 5 or 6 phone calls. Coach, we don't have any sound. One of the cable companies that carries the show did not have any sound that morning. So it was not Fox 28 and it was not the other cable company. So we apologize for it. And what we're going to do, because it's such a good fishing video and such a thrill to do that tournament like that, we're going to show that video again on Labor Day morning. On the first Monday in September. We'll show that video again so you have a chance to see it. I've had some viewers call me up and say they didn't have any sound, so that afternoon they looked it up on YouTube and watched it on YouTube with the sound. So We apologize for that. Sometimes things happen out of our control. Also on Friday, we didn't get a chance to do the fishing forecast, but remember now, you can check the Panhandle Outdoors website. It is updated every week, that fishing forecast, along with the fishing time. So we entered that Friday about noontime. We put the fishing forecast in there. So the weekly fishing forecast is in there. I want to say good morning to Kim Miller. Ran into her yesterday buying some bird seed up there in Lynn Haven and from Vernon. Kim, good morning to you. Her husband does some land clearing all up there. Watch the show every morning. Appreciate that, Kim. And good to meet you and good to talk to you. I hope those hummingbirds are doing well. And also, Bobby Graham called last night. Bobby is probably the pier expert. Bobby's on the pier probably more than anyone I know. And what Bobby, when something happened at the pier, Bobby's either emailing me or calling me right away. And the good news was that pompano came in yesterday. You know, we mentioned it yesterday morning that they were seeing some, but they caught some recently. One guy limited out with 6 pompano. Now, they're right there on that second sandbar, so if you want to go catch some pompano, use some of those little jigs, and you can sight fish off the pier. You can actually look for that little flash, and right around that second sandbar, they're coming out of that trough between the first and second, and popping up there and flashing back, so you see the flash. So while the pompano around now, this time of year in late summer, they still got big pods of them. They'll pop in and out. So give that a try. Also, got this news release from FWC. The free hunter safety course is up in Washington County. It'll be August the 26th and 27th. Okay, and it will be at the Hard Labor Creek Plantation right there on Hard Labor Road there in Chipley, and from 6 to 9. Instructions on August the 26th, and then from 8 a.m. to noon on the 27th for all you folks. You don't have to be from Washington County to take the course, but that's where it's going to be. We just had the one in Bay County last weekend, so keep that in mind too. Got an email from Rodney Gore wanting to know when the Elizabeth Bodorf Memorial Redfish Tournament was going to be held, and I just got word from Jeff Bodorf that it's going to be held October the 15th. So go ahead. I've already marked my calendar, October 15th, the Elizabeth Bodorf Memorial Redfish Tournament. Probably held out of Lynn Haven like it has been the last couple of years. Great cause, and we love promoting these tournaments. The money goes to the Red Cross Learn to Swim program. A fine little tournament there, and we're glad to be a part of it. But go ahead and put it on the calendar now, October the 15th for the Red Cross Learn to Swim program. We're going to take a quick break. Got 2 special guests you're really going to enjoy. They're sitting here right in the studio ready to come on. So let's take a break and we'll bring them on.
Harold Milling Company, rough and tough dog food. Harold Milling Company builds it. They build hog feed. They build dairy feed. They make chicken feed. They have specialty feeds for rabbits. If you got a worm farm, grandmother used to have a worm farm. Look at that, Harold Milling Company. You want to go down and get the dog's not running anymore. That's all over with. You want to get that 16% and drop down from the 26% protein. You don't want over to get fat. Harold Milling Company, you can buy at almost any feed store in the Panama City area.
Sunrise to sunset. A walk through nature takes you on a journey of Florida's Emerald Coast. You'll encounter the wildlife, birds, lighthouses, indigenous to the beautiful land and seascapes of Florida. Set to the sounds of nature and enhanced with easy listening music. Only $14.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling. NatureWalkDVD.com or send check or money order to the address on the screen. A walk through nature. Visually stunning. You know what folks like best about Coram Steak and Eggs? Just about everything. Willie and Linda Coram have been in business a long time. They know how to take care of their customers with great food and great service. Better than being at home. You don't have to do the dishes. It's all good, but be sure to check out their Heavenly Hash. That's what Coram Steak and Eggs is famous for. Coram Steak and Eggs, 804 South Kendall Parkway. Open 24/7.
Panama City Beach is known as one of the top dive destinations in Florida. Divers Den offers daily dive charters that can accommodate up to 13 divers. Our boat captain is U.S. Coast Guard certified and a PADI dive instructor. We have trained professionals who offer a variety of scuba certifications. Come see us at our 2 locations on Thomas Drive and Tyndall Parkway.
All right, welcome back, folks. Welcome Divers Den. Clay Galbraith.
Morning.
Bob Stapleton.
Good morning.
Welcome aboard. We've been talking and laughing about diving, about how enjoyable it is and everything. So we're going to get started, and we're glad to have y'all on. Glad to have y'all on the new sponsors. But I know y'all been diving a long time, and I've always thought about it myself. We'll get that later. But anyway, tell us a little bit about Divers Den, the history of it, and where y'all located. And Clay, where y'all located?
Well, we got 2 locations. We got one on Thomas Drive, and we got one on Tyndall Parkway.
Okay. I know my wife just went by there a couple weeks ago. She loves a scallop, and her mask was leaking. She said, I'm going to go get a good mask, and she did. She got a fine mask.
Well, that's the most important thing about any dive gear, that it fit right. If it doesn't fit, you're not in business with diving.
She said y'all were so nice and had to make sure it fit and everything. And
yeah.
Now I got to go get one.
Yeah, the history of Divers Den goes back a long ways. It started out with Chuck Gigley, who was a retired chief in the Air Force, and he started up the program, and some of the geriatric people that I dive with were with him when it started, but I was a newcomer to it. I didn't get into it until about 1990.
Okay, so you came on later. Just diving in itself, I love to snorkel. I've been snorkeling jetties. It's beautiful underwater, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Okay, let's first talk about if someone wants to take diving lessons. What do they do? Do they give y'all a call? What's diving lessons?
All they need to do is just call the shop as soon as they know they want to do it. You need at least a week, 2 weeks. You call the shop, you come get a book, and $275 is the cost right now. All your gear is furnished except for your mask, snorkel, fins, and booties. And the typical class is 3-day class, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
This is what's amazing to me. In one weekend, you can be certified.
That's right.
Usually anything, if you get your real estate license or whatever you do, it takes weeks and months and all to do this. But you can really, now you got to hit it hard on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, it's full Friday, Saturday, and Sunday program. Yeah. And there aren't any hidden costs. I mean, when it's $275, that includes, except for your mask, fins, and snorkel that you need to have for your own personal gear. It's whatever gear you need for the season of the year. It includes everything. It includes the instructor. If there's a boat trip involved, which we try to do to get certified aboard a boat, because most of the diving here in Panama City is boat diving.
Yeah.
And we'll go out on recreation, the Divers Den boat. I'll probably be driving and take them out and let them get certified. If we can't do it on the boat, then we'll do it either at a Springs, Morrison Springs preferred, Vortex Springs maybe, or even at the jetties. But preferred method is to get them out on the boat, let them see what's under the water in the Gulf.
Well, you're talking about underwater, and also they're actually getting in the water. If I were to go take lessons, I'd have a classroom that morning, and then that afternoon I'd be.
You're in the pool. You're in the pool right after lunch. You're actually diving the first day.
So I'm not getting in over my head the first day.
The point of getting the books early is to get the academics out of the way, learn something before you get there, and be ready when you start class, because you hit it hard.
You're talking about class. I teach this outdoor class. I know at Rutherford you had a lot of those
That's
students.
right.
You did some of that same stuff over there. And every class I have is just a little nucleus, a group of those kids who really enjoy and want to get. And some of them are already certified when they get to me, and then yet some become certified.
Yeah, to be able to tell more dive stories, I had to encourage some of my guys to get certified in the classes. The guys and gals enjoyed it. So I like teaching school. I had a captive audience for my dive stories.
Yeah, I bet you did. We always talk, the one thing, and we're off the air earlier talking about the one thing that always scares people, and Jeff mentioned too, sharks. And we're just getting off Shark Week, and everybody's thinking about sharks and all, but y'all been in underwater a lot. Tell us, your feeling on Clay. What do you think?
Sharks are really a non-issue. You very rarely see the sharks, and when you do see them, most of the time they see you and they leave. When you make eye contact, they leave the scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of programming going on with trying to make people afraid of sharks, and I guess it works. I tried to tell people when I talked to them about the danger of sharks. They're in grave danger coming to their dive class because they'll probably get killed in a car wreck or maimed.
Yeah.
Much more dangerous than going out and swimming with the sharks.
Statistics show that.
Yeah. Now, I have a problem with sharks sometimes because I drag chum in front of them with bloody dead fish hanging off my hip. But if somebody's just diving, the sharks are not a threat. I mean, they're not going to come around somebody with making bubbles and big steel tanks or aluminum tanks on their back. They're not a threat.
Well, I was noticing, if you watch Shark Week closely, on all of those encounters, they're, like you say, they have a lot of blood in water, a lot of chum in water, and they're just drawing.
And that's just so they can see them.
Just to see them.
Yeah.
And they're not provoking anything at all.
Yeah.
When you were talking about scalloping deep holes out in St. Joe Bay. That's gotta be
I know people think we're cheating when we do that with tanks, but it sure is nice to get down in the 8 to 10 foot holes and just stay down and gather up those little.
And it doesn't take
scallops.
long.
It doesn't take long. I mean, not this year. Not this year. There are plenty of them. Yeah.
It's been a great experience.
Yeah.
Clay, when you I know when you go out now, you run a boat also.
Yes.
And do y'all, how many boats y'all have?
We have 2 boats right now. One big boat we use, the one that was on your commercial, and then we have a smaller boat we use.
Yeah. And typical, if they're going to go on a diving trip, they're going to come in on a Saturday morning. A lot of times you get somebody from Atlanta, so they're going to come up and meet you on Saturday morning at the boat. Is that how we do it?
Yeah, you come in the shop, then we carry the boat. The boat's only docked about a half mile from the shop. We carry all your gear to the boat for you. It's really easy to go on our boat. We do most of the work for you.
Okay, now is it typical, now they have different dive trips, I guess, like sometimes it's a 1 dive trip and sometimes a 2 dive.
Most of ours are 2 tank. Most all the dives are 2 tanks, about 4 hours. Then we do offshore trips occasionally. They're about 4.5 to 5 hours, and then we also do 3 tanks, but they're not as common.
Yeah. And safety is a paramount issue. Y'all are so safe and all, and instruction and all.
And no, that's the whole point of all the instruction is for the safety of it. I mean, there's no law that says you have to be certified to be able to dive, but it's just for your own safety. Of course, the dive shops, any dive shop won't fill your tanks or even sell you life support equipment if you aren't certified. But the point of being certified is so you can do it safely. And there are things you must know on how to do it safely. I don't care how well you swim. There are physiological problems with diving that you don't get just snorkeling down. So
well, we're going to take a break in a second, but we're going to come back. We're going to talk about what some of the most beautiful sights you've seen down there. I know mainly we're diving here on wrecks and different spots, right?
Yeah.
Like a big wreck and all. What's the depth of a typical dive trip?
Most of our dives are run in right at 80 foot.
80 foot.
It's 80 foot to the sand. You spend most of your time, though, around 50 to 60 foot up on top of the wrecks, where all the fish are. A lot of our wrecks right now are covered in so many bait fish that they actually will cut out your visibility by the amount of fish that are in the water.
That's incredible. Next time they come on now, they're going to bring some video and some pictures of what we're talking about. So let's take this break. We'll come back and talk about some of these different diving spots they have. We'll be right back.
For 26 years, Mills Heating and Air has been serving the Emerald Coast from Navarre Beach to Bay County, Crestview to Deputiac Springs with residential and commercial accounts. 7 days a week, we provide quality service and installation, in-home evaluations, air quality, and duct cleaning. We offer free estimates, convenient financing, and preventative maintenance agreements.
For lower bills, call Mills 234-8177.
Your Panhandle carrier dealer.
The greatest investment we can all make is in the lives of our children and grandchildren.
To help you invest for retirement, handle your IRA rollover, protect your family with life or long-term care insurance, call my dad for an appointment at his new office on Wilson Avenue behind Lowe's. And he'll give you a copy of his most recent book, 7 Steps to Serious Money. For free! Walter Woodrick, your serious money advisor!
When it comes to the shooting sports, the headquarters for this area for over 57 years has been C&G Sporting Goods. When you need firearms for hunting, target shooting, self-protection, home protection, or if you're a gun collector, C&G's friendly, knowledgeable sales staff is ready to help you make the right selection. C&G buys, sells, and trades guns. C&G will buy one gun or a collection. Look over this area's largest selection of quality firearms. C&G Sporting Goods, home of the experts.
It's Kubota Summertime Deal Days at Soul Tractor, and finance offers are heating up.
Right now, we have long-term finance rates for qualified buyers. We have the deals you've been waiting for on new Kubota RTV Work or Play.
Come take a look at the new Kubota RTV work-play utility vehicles today.
Hurry to Soul Tractor's Kubota Summertime Deal Days and get your best deal on a new Kubota today while the sun shines.
Now, welcome back. Sitting here with Bob Stapleton and Clay Galper from Divers Den. We're talking about the early days. Ronnie Groom and Bill Tant and those guys had to go out of town to get air. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, we've got it here now.
we do have air here. Let's take a look at our Express Lane Fish and Game forecast for today, brought to us by Express Lane, American owned and operated. This morning's time was at 2:27 a.m. We're past that time, but this afternoon, looking at 2:48 to 4:48, a peak period today, 2:48 to 4:48. We were talking about fishing. I was calling, trying to get a touch base. I always, touch base with people the day before, and I was tracking you down, and you were up at, you were fishing at Carter Track.
Right. I was looking around up there, seeing if maybe it was clear enough to dive, but that'd be kind of blackwater diving. I don't think you'd learn much diving up there.
And you just learned how to fish Carter Track.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. I've been twice now. I didn't realize what a treasure that place was until I went up there and looked around. Yeah, I'll be back up there. Yeah.
Well, and diving and fishing, ironically, go hand in hand. Clay, I know a lot of times you'll dive down and you'll see so many fish, and that's sort of what the guys are after. So, how do you tie that in?
Well, when you start diving, you learn the fish habits. Each fish has where he wants to stay in the water column, and they kind of all have their own little communities below the water. So learning how to dive is a great benefit to a fisherman.
We always, it's been a great snapper season for fishermen. And now, as a diver, I want you to give me your opinion on this. We always, a lot of people fish bottom, but then we will crank it up to catch the big ones. Do you see the big ones up above the bottom? Is that what
Yeah, I mean, what you think? I mean, what you hear from the old-timer fishermen, that you 10 cranks up and you'll start catching bigger ones. So that's it. The little ones are more towards the bottom, and a lot of other things that you learn about diving when you get in on a wreck. I mean, when I started looking around, since I spearfish, you naturally study the fish's habits or see what they're doing, and you'd think they'd hang around down current of a wreck. So if you anchor up on a wreck and then your baits drift down current, that would be obviously the way to do it. It's absolutely wrong, though, because they hang around up current of the wreck. As soon as I get in the water, I head up current of the wreck, and that's where the fish are. The jacks, the snapper, the grouper, they're all up current of the wreck.
That's funny you said that, because you gave away one of our secrets that we caught that big fish on. We got up current from the wreck. Like you say, a lot of people go down current.
Because if you anchor on the wreck, then you're sitting down current. So you need to it's a little harder to anchor that way, but you need to anchor out in the sand and drift back to the wreck. It's a lot better.
You're talking about treasures in the area, and the Panhandle, I go over and over again what a treasure we have here. But the jetties themselves, the jetty is always a good place. I mean,
fantastic place to dive. Yeah, if you hit it right, it can be a really miserable place to dive if you try to do it on an outgoing tide or.
Yeah, but today we have these flat tides.
Right. Today's a good day for the jetties.
Today be a good day.
We have people come from Mississippi and all over to come here and stay at St. Andrews and just dive the jetties. Because it's just a good dive.
Yeah. There's plenty to see. You can see tropical fish. You can see the Goliath grouper hanging around there sometimes. All kinds of fish, yeah.
Do y'all do much diving in the bay? Have y'all ever done much of that, or just?
There's a few spots in the bay you can dive, but you have to dive it just like the jetties. You have to dive it right at high tide. It needs to be when the bay's clear, not a whole lot of rain. But there is diving in the bay. It's just a lot better to go out the pass.
When I started diving, I had to be underwater as much as possible, and when it was rough in the Gulf, I dived the bay. And sometimes I would pick up the anchor and let the boat blow downwind and just hold the anchor and just cruise along the bottom of the bay, because I was wondering what was down there. Okay. And it's amazing what you'd see.
You ever seen interesting stuff?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's not much. It's like a big desert, but you'll come across big seashells and different types of invertebrates crawling on the bottom. Well, it's all interesting. I mean, there isn't any boring place to dive if you can see 6 inches in front of your face.
We always talk about, as fishermen, we always talk about structure.
Always. That's what it takes. That's where the fish are.
Yeah. What would be the age for a kid? What's the age limits and all for people learning how to dive? What's young and what's old? So,
and we certify PADI divers. PADI's a certification company, and PADI right now is 10 years old. You can learn how to dive if they're 10.
Okay.
They have rules on them. They have limitations, but they can get certified at 10 years old.
That's fascinating. And what about how old? People like us too old? Bob?
Oh no, you're never too old. We've certified people well into their 60s.
There you go, Jeff. You're not too old, so Jeff can. I'm trying to talk Jeff into going with me. So, this is exciting to have Divers Den come on as a sponsor. The whole picture, the panoramic view of the outdoors in the Panhandle has to include diving, because diving has just been part of it for so long and such a thrill.
If people are living here and not diving, they're missing the real treat. Yeah. This is great diving around here.
Do y'all have some dives coming up this weekend and all? Y'all pretty busy this time of
Our
year?
boat will be going out in a few minutes. We have trips every day this week.
What time y'all go out?
The boat goes out at 9 a.m. During the week. Then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it normally leaves the dock at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. And you're out for most of the day?
Well, it goes out usually 4-hour trips. On the weekends, they'll turn around and go out again at 2 p.m.
And it's so simple to do this. You get one weekend, you get certified.
Yeah.
And next time y'all come on, you're gonna have some good videos, some good pictures.
We can do that, no problem.
Underwater wrecks and all.
Yeah, sure.
And I know y'all are a big sponsor of the Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association. Their big tournament they have, which is next weekend, and that money goes to, like we talked about before, these diving structures. Now, have y'all dove some of those structures and all?
Sure have, yeah. We go down there sometimes.
They're pretty neat, aren't they?
They're nice. They're very nice. There are lots of them, and they all hold fish. Yep.
We're going to fish one now. Yeah, I want you to, this is what I want y'all to do. Go down and find out
Pick
where the
out
big king
which one.
mackerel
Right.
where that big king mackerel is.
I think you got the secret on those king mackerel.
Well, luck counts too.
Yeah, that helps. That always helps. Sometimes you make your luck, though.
Well, a couple of those things help out, but I know those reefs are real nice down there.
They are.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to make a reef. I mean, any little thing on the bottom, fish are going to hang around.
And next time we're going to run out of time now. But next time, I want y'all to talk about some of these car bodies and stuff they put out years ago and all. If they're still around, if they move, if a storm moves these and all. But got to get out here. Bob, thank you. Clay,
great being here.
All right, buddy.
Had a good time.
Thank y'all for coming on. Folks, thank y'all for watching the show. We really appreciate this, and I got a new sponsor in Divers Den, and go by and see them and get a good mask this time. We got to get out here. Y'all do something good for somebody today, and God bless you.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.